Hi, so let's look at what is language skills. So language skills are the words that you're going to use or tips that the appropriate language to be used in your speech. Okay, first of all, let's look at the meaning of words. So there are two meanings of words here. So one is denotative and another one is connotative. So denotative meaning is more precise, literal, and also objective. It can describe the object of a person, a place, idea, or event. So basically, denotative meaning is the meanings that you can find in the dictionary itself, while connotative is more subjective and figurative. So meanings that the words is what the words suggest or imply, not what you can find in the dictionary. So for instance, the connotative meaning of the word school includes all the feelings, associations and emotion that the word touches of in different people. Like another example is the word brutal. So denotative meaning of brutal is extremely cruel. But if you look at the connotative meaning, it means violent to the point of it can be an entertainment. Okay, next is using language accurately. So as a speaker, you need to use language accurately. So how accurate you can use a language? This is also vital to a speaker, as using numbers accurately is to an accountant. So every word have its own meanings that distinguish it from every other words. Okay, if you look into thesaurus, you can find the following word as a synonym. For example, education, knowledge, and expertise. So these three words are a special grasp of a subject matter or skills. So you need to use appropriate, accurate words to describe your speech. Okay, you can try this while you go through the notes later, and you can see the difference. Okay, besides using language accurately, next is you should use language clearly. What does it mean by using language clearly? Meaning that you should use the familiar words. So one of the biggest challenge to clear speech is use big bloated words, where you can use short, sharp ones better. So this is especially true when it comes to technical language. They may be familiar to speaker but not to the audience. Okay, for example, if you are a doctor, you want to give a talk to an audience who is not in the same field with you, so you should use a clear word, shorter, not a technical terms. Only doctors know. Next, Joseph Conrad have said that give me the right word and the right accent and I will move the world. So you should see that what words can do to you. Next is the ability to use language effectively. It's also one of the most important skills. So with the right words that you use, you can actually communicate your thoughts, what you think, how you feel, and also to convey your emotions so that you can teach, you can entertain people, you can persuade people to change their attitude and belief. So the words that you use in your speech can both help you and also to hurt you. So make sure you choose wisely the words that you're going to use. Next is the choice of words. Choose concrete words instead of abstract. Concrete instead of abstract. So concrete words carry message more effectively than abstract. Concrete words pertain to tangible, related to tangible things. Tangible things means that some things that you can touch using your five senses. So the more concrete words you use, the more your audience understand your message. Okay, for examples, loud noise you can hear with your ears. your senses. I can smell delicious mee goreng mamak from the kitchen. It's a concrete words. Next, abstract words are subjected to various interpretation and arguments. So this will depend on the people's backgrounds, religion, education, and also nationality of your audience. So when you use abstract, make sure you define and explain them to avoid any misunderstanding and also misinterpretations. So these are pertain to intangible things, untouchable things. Okay, for example, ideas, beliefs. It depends on your religion, depends on your background information to believe what people said. Okay, next, you should eliminate clutter. So what is clutter? Clutter is a discourse that takes many more words than are necessary to express an idea. So make sure you keep your language lean and lively. Discourse is give a talk. So you should also avoid flabby phrases. Flabby phrases, for example, you say technically banana is a fruit, where you can just leave out the word technically. Banana is a fruit. Let your ideas emerge sharply and firmly. You should also throw away unnecessary words. So how to eliminate clutter in your speech is you can record yourself when the speech texts are done. So you record yourself and then you play back. So as you listen back, you can improve on the flabby phrases in your recording. For example, like really, those are an examples. Okay, next is use language vividly. Vividly means a clear image. So if you want to move people with your speeches, use vivid animated language. You can use two common methods. So it is advisable to use vivid and animated language. But make sure it is suitable with the topics they are talking about. So what is imagery and rhythm? Imagery is the use of vivid language to create mental image of objects, actions, and also idea. So the audience can imagine, have the mental image in themselves. So it is much the same way to make the ideas come alive. So 3 ways to generate imagery are by using concrete words, simile, and also metaphor. So what is simile? I'm sure you can recall some of this because you have learned this in school, right? An explicit comparison, so introduce word with the word like or as. So between things that are essentially different yet have something in common. For example, as fresh as a daisy, as easy as an ABC. So what is a metaphor? Metaphor are different from simile, which you don't use the word like or as. Example of metaphor is like this. With globalization, the same sea washes all of humankind. We are all in the same boat. There are no safe island, a coffee island. So the word all of humankind refers to that we are all in the same boat. Next is rhythm. Language also has rhythm, created by choice and arrangement of the words. So a speech, however, is not a poem. You should never emphasize sound and rhythm at the expense of meaning. So the aim is to think the ways you can use the rhythm and flow of language. So this is more on the flow of the language that you are using. Next is, so under parallelism, under rhythm, there are parallelism and repetition, alliteration and antithesis. So there are 4 things under rhythm. So let's look at these first 2. Parallelism is the first device, similar arrangement of pair of series of related words, phrases and sentences. For example, rich and poor, intelligent and ignorant. So this is what you call as parallel. wise and foolish. Okay, next is repetition, meaning that you reiterating the same word. You repeat the same word, set of words at the beginning or end of successive clauses or sentences. For example, we do not give up, we do not quit, we do not allow fear. So you repeat the word we do not to give emphasis on your speech. Next is alliteration, meaning that repetition of the initial consonant sound of close adjoining words. Peace is essential for progress, but progress is no less essential for peace. So you highlight the sound of words. Peace, progress, okay, the word peace. Antithesis, juxtaposition of contrasting ideas. Okay, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Contrasting ideas. Next is using language effectively. So it should be appropriate to the occasion. The language that you are using should be appropriate to the occasions that you are going to give the speech. Okay, it's only common sense to adjust your language to different occasion. Next, appropriate to the topic. Language should also be appropriate to the topic that you have chosen. You would not use metaphor antithesis when explaining how to change a bicycle tire. This is what I mentioned just now. Okay, the rhythm sometimes it's not suitable when you are demonstrating things. So you're not going to use rhythm in your first speech. Next is appropriateness to the audience. Also keep in your mind that your audience is your center of attraction. So it will help you greatly when dealing with technical topics. Okay, so you might want to avoid language that might offend your audience. Do not touch on any sensitive issues and so on. Next is appropriateness to the speaker. So no matter what the occasion, audience, and also the topic, language should also be appropriate to the speaker, to you. Next is inclusive language. So what is inclusive language? Is that does not stereotype, demean or patronize people on the basis of gender, race, religion, disability, sexual orientation or other factors. So overall language that you are going to use. Short, simple words versus long, pretentious word. So you can read these examples. We are in the ambassadorial residence, subject, of course, to some of the discomfitures as a result of the need of elements of refurbishing and rehabilitations. This is what you call as gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. In a simple words, you can say that we are decorating now, so the house is a bit messy. So gobbledygook means we are decorating now, so the house is a bit messy. So this is what the words or sentences that you should use in your speech. Choose short, simple words and sentences. Next is loaded word. Loaded words are concern race, religion and politics, so avoid using this. Race and religion, whitey, racist or nigger, calling out peoples in your speech. Political philosophy such as Nazi, communist, skinhead and left wing. Next is sexist language. What is sexist language? The language that promotes stereotyping of people on the basis of gender. Okay, so it's a vital part of audience adaptation. Remember, when you are analyzing your audience, you need to do audience adaptation before, during the speech. It's a matter of accuracy of speech making. So your audience will consist of both men and women. So you should be able to address both the gender. Okay, next is the 6 C's of language use. This is also very important. The 6 C's. First is the clarity. Words are not clear, listener will not understand you. Color, emotional intensity or vividness of the language. Round, bold, clean cut on the meat, gorgeous teeth. Okay, and then concreteness. Avoid using too many abstract words. You should use concrete words. Concrete words are more pictorial and precise. Next, correctness. So use correct grammar, punctuation, also punctuation in your speech text. Choose your words wisely. Consciousness, simplicity and directness will help you to be more concise. Okay, use active voice rather than passive voice. 6, cultural sensitivity. So always think before you speak and choose your words carefully. That's all. Thank you.